So now we are in the second part of this chapter. You can see the diagram 1.4 here. Three pictures are given. What is the similarity between these three pictures? You can see the similarity here. Air pollution is there. Simple. So now we are on the main part. All the above pictures show large scale emission of smoke through different agencies. This smoke directly mixes with the atmosphere, disturbing the balance between the constituents of air, and this is called air pollution. This is the basic definition of air pollution. In our pictures, we are seeing the large scale emission of smoke. So, this makes the disturbance between the balance of the constitution of air. The smoke directly mixes with the atmosphere. You know what is in the atmosphere? Then now this smoke is directly mixing with the atmosphere, and this is causing the air pollution. Now harmful gases are given out through combustion of fuels in vehicles and in big industries, and also through incomplete combustion of fuels like wood and coal. As a result, air pollution is increasing day by day. Harmful gases are given out through the combustion of fuels in vehicles. You know this perfectly. This is the main cause of air pollution. As a result, air pollution is increasing. Now, harmful substances released in air through combustion of fuels due to vehicles. See, one is nitrogen dioxide, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, and soot. These are all the harmful substances released in air through combustion of fuels. They are the components of air pollution. Now the next part is ozone layer, the protective shell. We'll see what is ozone layer. There is a layer of ozone, means O3 gas, in the lower part of stratosphere. After this explanation, I'll give you one diagram where all these spheres are present. Now, ozone layer is in the lower part of stratosphere. Ozone gas is not directly useful for the survival of living things, yet it is very important for living things to have this layer of ozone. Now you will say, ma'am, you are saying it is not very important. Not means directly important and very important also. So let's see how. It is important for living things to have this ozone layer at the high altitude around the earth, because the ultraviolet rays coming from the sun, the ultraviolet rays means the UV rays which are coming from the sun, are very harmful for living things. The ozone gas absorbs these rays. As a result, life on earth is protected. The ozone gas is absorbing these rays. As a result, the life on earth is protected. Now, the ozone layer is destroyed if chemical gases like carbon tetrachloride and chlorofluorocarbons used in the air conditioners and refrigerators mix with the air. Ozone layer is destroyed when the chemical gases like carbon tetrachloride or chlorofluorocarbons used in the air conditioner and refrigerators mix with air. On 16th of September, the day 16th of September is celebrated as Ozone Protection Day all over the world to make everyone aware of the importance of ozone. Ozone is a O3 gas. It is very important that ozone should be present at the higher level of altitude. Now, just remind this date, 16th of September. 16th of September is celebrated as Ozone Protection Day. You all should remind me that ma'am, today is 16th September and today is Ozone Protection Day in the month of September. Now, we should all know the importance of the ozone layer. Ozone absorbs all the harmful rays coming from the sun. Now let us see The another diagram, that is 1.5 distribution of water on earth. So in this diagram we can see the distribution of water is given. Seas and oceans cover about 97%, and groundwater, ice and water in cover about 2.7%. So 100 minus 97 minus 2.7, and what the answer comes is the percentage water available for drinking. So we just can't live without water, you know that, and there is too much scarcity of water. So just don't waste the water, and we all know the importance of water. Water in seas, in oceans is 97%, the water which is not at all useful for us. But the water available for drinking, means the fresh water, is the percentage which you will calculate. It is too low. So don't waste the water, as it is said that water is life. You can see that 2% is the groundwater, ice and water in the other forms, which is not really useful for us. And seas and oceans, this is also not useful for us. So the water available for the drinking form is too low. Now we'll see, we cannot use all the water on earth because sea water is salty. Some water is in frozen state and a very small quantity of water is available for drinking. Yet it is enough for all living things. It is really enough, but don't waste the water, as there is a scarcity of water. Now we have just seen about water and land. Means whole 100% of water is not useful for us. We have seen all the calculations here. Now we are moving to our next part, that is land. Now always remember the point, use the water sparingly, block water, let it percolate, store water wherever possible, and reuse the water wherever possible. Remember, the stored water does not become stale at once. You have to clean the pots and the utensils where you store your water. So now, due to uncontrolled use of water for an increasing population, industry and farming, it is now short supply. Water scarcity has become the biggest problem. We are moving to our next part, that is land. So, can you tell what is land made of? What do you see on land? What is man created on land? If a deep pit is dug on the ground, what do you find there? Is land flat everywhere? Do man produce soil or land? No, we don't produce soil or land. Now we'll see deeply about land. Land is seen in the forms of stones, soil, big rocks. It is not flat everywhere. It is hilly in some places and flat in other areas. It is hilly in some places and flat in other areas. All terrestrial animals, including man, live on land. We also live on land, you know that. Some terrestrial big burrows on the ground for shelter. This means that they use land for fulfilling their need. We all use land for fulfilling our need. We also use land for farming and for building houses and roads. We make the use of plants and animals in the forest that grow on land. The minerals, crude oil and natural gas obtained from the earth, means land, are very important for us. It means that land is an important resource. Let us see exactly what the land is made up of. Means we'll see the layers of earth. So come on. Here we can see the diagram. In this, clearly we can see the layers of the land. First is humus. Then secondly we can see the soil here. We will understand deeply what is meant by humus. These are the layer of land. You can see the humus there. Here we can see soil. The roots of plants are also there. Then immature soil. Then the layers of small and small rocks. And lastly, there is present bedrock. The bedrock is too large and hard layer of rock. So now we are going to see what is meant by humus. Generally, see here we can see all the small layers, and if the land has mature soil, the topmost layer is formed by decomposition of the remains of plants and animals. You can see here the humus, the topmost layer. It is formed by decomposition of remains of plants and animals. This layer is called as humus layer. We have seen the humus layer there. So this layer is formed by decomposition of remains of plants and animals. It is usually found in dense forest, dense dark forest. In the dense dark forest you can see the humus there. It is a layer formed by decomposition of remains of plants and animals. You know the process of decomposition. We have already studied it in standard 5th. It is usually found in dense forest. The land below this is full of sand, soil, small stones, worms and insects. Soil and pieces of bedrock are found below the layer of land. The soil is immature. After the humus, we can see land is full of sand, small stones, worms and insects. Then after that some bedrocks are there. Humus is the topmost layer because it is formed by the decomposition of plants and animals, as we saw firstly. The second layer is soil. And in this layer we can see small stones, worms and insects. Then now we are moving towards the next part, that is the process of soil formation. Now we know the layers of soil. Now we are going to see the process of soil formation. The soil on the land is formed by natural process. The abiotic components of soil are supplied through the weathering of the bedrock. Due to the heat, cold and water of sun, wind and rain respectively, the bedrock breaks down into pieces. Stones, sand and soil are formed from these pieces. Microbes, worms and insects are found among them. Rodents like mice and rats are also found there. The roots of trees growing on the land also help weathering of rock. The process of soil formation is slow and continuous. It takes about 1,000 years for a 2.5 centimeter thick layer of mature soil to form. The process of soil formation is slow and continuous process. You should know that the process of soil formation is slow and a continuous process. You can just think that 1,000 years for 2.5 centimeter thick layer of mature soil. See how the process is slow. This all forms due to the weather. Now, soil can get destroyed in a short period due to the floods, storms and human activities such as mining. Humans are only not destroying the soil, but the activities like floods, storms, human activities like mining and the natural activities like floods and storms. That is why it is necessary to conserve the soil. Now, the best remedy for this is to increase the green cover of land. That's why planting trees is so important, and erosion of soil is reduced if gaseous trees and bushes are grown on it. Now see, the important, do you know that humus is a layer formed on the soil due to decomposition of dead plants and animals by microbes, supplies nutrients to the soil. Humus is also important for aerating the soil and for holding water in the soil. The proportion of humus in the upper layer of good fertile soil is about 33% to 50%. Now, this is the importance of humus. We know the humus. In previous diagram, we have seen that humus is a layer formed by decomposition of dead plants and animals and microbes. Now, use your brain power. What are the constituents of soil? Classify them as biotic and abiotic constituents. Biotic and abiotic constituents. You have to find it. See here, the proportion of humus in the upper layer of good fertile soil is about 33% to 50%. You have to note down that point. Now we will move on. Here is the information about crude oil. That forest and land buried underground due to great upheavals that took place many years ago, and by these the fossil fuels. These fossil fuels were called as crude oil. Now here the proportion is given: land is 29%, potable water or fresh water is 0.3%, and oxygen is 21%. Here we can see that institutions at work. Indian Meteorological Department IMD was established in 1875 for studying the weather in the Indian subcontinent. The main function of this institute is to observe the weather and to make weather forecast. See, IMD established in 1875. Now, by this we have finished our chapter. The topics I have just filtered out and I have just explained it to you. Now, question answers will be given on our group. If you have any kind of problem in any part of this chapter, then you can ask it on our group. So by this we have completed our whole chapter, natural resources, that is air, water and land. Thank you.